minutes, so keep it short, simple, and above all, respectful. Listen live on I-95.5 FM or watch live on the I on Dependency Facebook page or YouTube channel. I on Dependency. We don't just share stories. We change lives. We change lives.
I on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the I on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Trinidad and Tobago, and welcome to I on Dependency right here on I-95.5 FM, live on the I on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. Good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago, and good morning, a special good morning to our guest in studio this morning. We have the Acting Commissioner of Police, Mr. McDonald Jacob, who is visiting us again. I don't know how we got so lucky, but thank you, sir, for joining us. And of course, our favorite woman police, Ms Joanne Archie, who is back on the scene. She has retired, but she's been brought back to continue her work in the communication of police matters to the public.
And we also have Woman Inspector Michelle Lewis, and we will tell you all about them during the course of the program, because I know that there was a release sent out by the police service yesterday about a changing of the guard with regard to communication and communicating with you, the people of Trinidad and Tobago. So we welcome each and every one of them. Good morning, Commissioner. Good morning, Ms. Archie.
Yeah, good morning to you and all doing this show.
And we thank you all very much. As I said, Ms. Archie will be sitting silently for now and listening to you all. And the object of the exercise here, as we said, folks, very respectfully, you all told us during the course of the month that we did programs on the police concerning the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service that you did not have a chance to speak with the Commissioner. You didn't have a chance to lay your claims or your concerns out in public. So here's your opportunity. But it's going to be done, as you know, we love to do here, in a very disciplined and organized way. After this break, you will have 3 minutes or less, no more than that, to call in. The Commissioner and his team are here to listen to you, to listen to your concerns, listen, and let's see how they can regain some of you members of the public's confidence in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
And also we want to ask you, when you're addressing your concern to the Commissioner, that you keep it as broad as possible, because he can't realistically, respond to individual matters. So keep your concern as broad as possible so that he can have a sense of what the larger picture is, because we honestly don't have time for, individual grouses, but we would prefer that you raise an issue or a larger concern with the police service, and the gentleman and lady will respond in the second hour.
Yes, I said they have their team here with us and in studio with us, so that they will be taking notes. And as you know, you have a commissioner now, as you have a who the cap fit quote here that says, it takes courage to sit and listen. This has never happened before in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. Yes, they have town meetings and all of that, but we're going to have a huge town meeting here this morning. For you to air, as we said, very respectfully. We would not tolerate any disrespect for the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service this morning. All right? So let's go to that quick break. Get your calls ready. Remember the number is 622-3937.
And you can also post your comments on our live streams, either on Facebook or on YouTube. Simply search for Ion Dependency on Facebook or YouTube, and you'll see the live video on that channel, on either channel.
And you can leave your questions or comments there as well, and it will be answered by the comms team. Let's go to that quick break. Your calls when we return.
Don't become a headline. Doing construction, picking fruit or trimming trees? Keep bamboo rods, ladders, scaffolding, roof beams, oversized material of any type, and body parts at least 15 feet from electricity poles and lines. Before doing any type of work close to overhead lines or to the point of connection to your home, and before digging where there are underground lines, contact T&Tech for a temporary disconnection so you can work safely. T&Tech, the power to make it work.
The sex trafficking is a serious thing in a way.
Sex trafficking? I thought it was only human trafficking it have.
But what do you mean?
No serious thing, boy. Where you get that from? I don't know about human trafficking, not about sex trafficking.
So how can you spot and identify perpetrators and children who are victims of trafficking? Many victims who are children do not look like under 18 years old. Child victims often move escorted around alone or in small groups. They also live in shared and even packed rooms and have very little clothing and belongings. Child victims are often seen with adults who are not their parents, their relatives, or their caregivers. Migrant children are often unaccompanied and separated from their parents. Child victims are often engaged in work that is not suitable for children. They are often deprived of their freedom to go to school, to play, and to enjoy being a child. Perpetrators have unexplained sources of income and possessions. They are businessmen and businesswomen running legitimate and illegitimate businesses. Perpetrators may appear to be the victim's friend, boyfriend, close relative, or employer.
We are the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling author on positivity and happiness, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangents methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
Ion Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio, at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Ion Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
All right, folks. Good morning once again. Thank you very much. We're ready to take your calls. You can call us now at 622-3937. And let's have a conversation with the Commissioner of Police and his team. Good morning.
Take our first call. Good morning.
Hi, good morning to you all.
Good morning.
Good morning, this is the Acting Commissioner of Police.
Yeah, good morning, good morning.
Good morning to you. I have some things I would like to ask you, right? Number one question, I'm going to this week where SRP was charged, I think, for break or something like that. Are you aware of that, right? Hello?
You're breaking up a bit, ma'am. Could you
Okay, right. Do you hear me now?
try again?
Okay, right. Are you hearing me clearly now?
Yes.
Right. I said I saw up the SRP was charge. You know, they had a space also there for a stolen vehicle. Number two, the incident that took place recently with the three young men down there in Port of Spain, they were murdered. I would like to find out how far the investigation with that reach, and also the police constable who was murdered in Rich Plain, right? I would really like to know much about it. I know it's very tough on your hands. And one thing I want to suggest and tell you, leaving police constable in station for, say, about 3 and 4 and 5 months, I think you all should check on that. Continue removing them. And I want to say one thing. You see the Western Police Station? You all need a good shake-up down there. Thank you and enjoy your day.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
We'll be writing down your comments and your questions, and we'll respond in a while. Good morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Morning.
The Commissioner, Acting Commissioner of Police, and now my problem is the body cam with the police and them. Why so long? America have the thing in order. The police they going out, they have the body cam on them. Anytime they go up key, you could know where this right. What is the problem in Trinidad with the body cam with the police and them?
Hello.
Good morning.
Good morning, Gag. Good morning, Natasha.
Good morning, Annette.
Good morning. Good morning to the esteemed police commissioner.
Good morning.
In studio. God bless you all. Mr. Commissioner, my question this morning is concerning the shootings, the bull-faced shootings by these criminals in Port of Spain. What I want to find out is why aren't police placed at strategic points, like by South Key there where the latest one took place, Ryson Road there by where there was a big shooting there very recently, some months ago. So I would like to know, because when I look after the police come after, so I would like to know why are police placed at these strategic points and what is Spain for these criminals and them. Thank you all so much.
You're welcome. Hello, good morning. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, good people, and good morning to the Commissioner and Mrs. Archer. Commissioner, Archie, sorry, apologize.
Go ahead.
Commissioner, there was what the lady spoke about, there was a police vehicle used to be parked up right on City Gate. As you come out City Gate, there was a vehicle used to be parked up there every morning. I realized I'm not seeing it anymore, and the point that she was just making. And a suggestion, one of the reasons why I stopped lining on the block in the 90s, Commissioner, police were always being seen coming through the communities, mashing up gambles, these wapi that these playing. And there's a a negative spin-off by these gambling that has been taken on all through the communities, especially the urban communities. I hope that it could start back, or if it continue. Thanks, Commissioner. You take it.
Thank you very much. And we do have one comment online if we don't have a call on the line.
Good morning.
Oh.
Hello, good morning.
Okay.
Morning.
Morning.
Hey, God and Natasha and the
Hey.
Commissioner.
Manu, how you do?
I'm 100% okay. I'm glad to have to speak to the Commissioner myself.
Yeah, morning.
Go ahead.
Okay. Morning, sir. My suggestion is this. In Port of Spain, you have parking on one side of the street only, and anybody being called back on the other side because you have to leave a street, a park for emergency vehicle parking and nothing park on two sides, and you have a problem and for emergency vehicle park. And the next suggestion is that you have 2 policemen patrolling every block in town. Up one walk up, one walk down, and communication being properly tightly kept. Observation by every policeman, by anybody that's seen looking like, suspicious. Connect up with the other police one time, so we'll have less of that. Parking on one side only, they're being caught park on the other side.
Thank you, Manu.
Thank you.
Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah.
Morning.
I'm still in Manchu.
Say again?
Let me say hello to the Commissioner and to the host.
Yeah, morning.
Yeah, I have a very serious concern that the laws that they deal with people impersonating police
should be increased and somehow tell the politicians to make a very serious fine. Because when people could impersonate police vehicle and police uniform, it gives them power. I spoke once before to the police about this, and they were very flippant that some of the vehicles with blinking blue lights are theirs and some are not theirs. And I think that should be dealt with very seriously. So they give them power to stop people, to do all kind of things to people.
All right, thank you very much, sir. Hello, good morning.
Hello, morning.
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 Hey, morning. Today, man. I know locked on the came out of church and I hear the program. I wanted to Ms Archie.
Yeah.
We got to commend you, all the police officers now, because the police work has changed dramatically with the high-powered rifles they have and the technology that is available to everybody, and which is being diverted in the wrong direction. But I just saw like this, and may God give you all the health and strength to continue being holding on. Somebody got to do the policing job. I mean, it isn't, and that is just how it is. So we just got to support you wherever we can. I mean, I listen to all these suggestions and look and listen, but I live in such a complex society right now, right through. So Ms. Archie, hold on, and I pray with you and to all the police and support. I mean, all professions have on these arbors, but we can't hold everybody else. That's have a blessed one, man. Look and listen, Trinidad. Bye-bye.
All right, thank you very much. Hello.
We have a
question?
couple comments
hold on.
online, so let's just take a break to read them out. One first from Alison, who says she was born to a father who was a police officer before moving over to the military. She's now in her 60s, and last week, for the very first time, she found herself telling a friend she no longer trusts the police service, and that hurts. Is there a time frame in mind to fix this? If so, if yes, what time frame do you think is realistic? I don't want to pass with this negative feeling about the service. And from YouTube, Lennox says, good morning. Why is the Southwestern Police giving tickets for noise on motor vehicles and they have no tool to measure noise?
Okay.
You have to go back to the lines now.
Question on WhatsApp. Can the Commissioner briefly elaborate on the TPS operation open door policy?
Yes.
I recently had an experience where I needed to report a death threat and was told to go to the police station that was closer to where the offender lives. Thank you very much. Good morning, Governor Natasha, listeners, Commissioner, animal cruelty is rampant throughout Trinidad and Tobago.
Yes.
Why is there not an active, specially trained animal welfare and protection unit within the TTPS? Many officers also do not seem to be aware of the laws against animal cruelty, the amended ones in particular.
Yes, I wholeheartedly endorse that complaint.
People remember, police cannot be everywhere at the same time. Let us be each other's keeper or protector. But that's from WhatsApp. Wearing of uniforms, in my opinion, is breaking down the discipline. Men here high, beards, etc., like they want to wear gray.
And surge again. I don't know.
Let's go up live. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, I'm Roland to get on the program.
You're live on the air, so go ahead.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. Morning to Commissioner. And
Morning.
Quick question. As it concerns the sexual abuse of children / minors, I believe the legal age in Trinidad and Tobago is under 18 years. An individual who has been sexually abused as a minor but never made a report. However, that individual is now over the legal age and has now decided to go forward and make a report. Would that report be credible enough to prosecute the perpetrator? Thank you.
All right, we have that question. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning to the acting commissioner, his escorts, hosts, and others.
Morning.
My question is to the acting commissioner. Did I say pleasant morning?
Yes, you did.
Yes, ma'am.
Right. My question to the acting commissioner: did you all drop the ball whereby the incident, with the incident that took place with the 3 guys that allegedly got killed from your people? The reason I'm asking that, sometimes in time gone by, when like villagers kill a villager or whatever, sometimes you might hear the police saying they expect uprising. Right. So I'm asking the question now, did you all drop the ball knowing here in a situation took place, which we don't know if it's truth, yes or no, but let's forget about that part. That you all didn't have a command center where you all could have monitored the areas, the hotspot areas, to prevent these things from happening, because it come like the citizens were held at ransom because of what took place, that they feel that the police had killed, one or any other people. So did you all drop the ball, or in future, would you all have a command center where you all can monitor these areas to prevent these things from happening? And another thing too, long ago, you had no subjects, the crime was less, what they were asking for, to come into the service. And now you are asking for 5 subjects and the crime seems to be going out of hand. What say you?
If you just give me 1 second. If you're just joining us to listen to Dependency, and we have the Acting Commissioner of Police McDonald Jacob in studio with his communications team. I don't know if you're hearing me clearly. Some people say, Gary, my voice
Maybe
keep dropping.
because they have on the mask.
And also the YouTube short money. I don't know if you could check on the YouTube feed, but I'm getting a report here that it's freezing up a bit. So could you work on that, please? All right. So let's go back to the lines. Hello. Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Mrs. Senke. Good morning to the Commissioner.
Morning, morning.
Together to protect you. Now, Mr. Commissioner, the same way if you lose your bank card, you can contact them and they will tell you if any money was taken out from your account, right? I hope that the body cams, they are linked up straight to the command center, and any officer who decides to disconnect it will be immediately identified and dealt with.
Thank you very much. Good point. Hello, good morning. 622-3937. Good morning.
A blessed day to you all. And to the Commissioner of Police, a blessed day to you, sir.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
You see, everybody blaming. Long time I know in the police station in the village, the police and the citizen of the village had a good communication. Sometimes the people in the village could say, officer, you have anything to eat? People cooking and carrying, they used to unite. And we today continuously blaming. And Mr. Jacob, the first thing you have to do, clean inside your home. There is all the problem. You're a very good person and discipline. And you could bring back discipline within that service, you're going to have a good service. Have a blessed and wonderful day.
All right, thank you. Let's take a WhatsApp. I see a very interesting one here from Elfie Roberts. Good morning.
This is
good.
Facebook. Good morning to the members on the program this morning. Can you let the public know what is the TTPS uniform as of today? And he's referring to colors. Where can the relevant information be found for the public in terms of what is the standard issue uniform, colors, and dress for a police officer?
Right, we also have one from Tobago, Natasha. Let me read quickly again.
Yes.
Also commenting from Tobago, please also answer in relation to the sister I.
Yes.
Is training in animal welfare protection also going to be made available to our officers here? This needs to be a specialized unit, preferably made up of officers who have a sense of animals being
sentient
beings, even if just 2 officers. Quite often, officers comment that they are focusing on human-related crimes, but police attention to animal-related crimes must be made a priority. And we always recommended on this program here that, a special unit of animal officers
animal welfare officers
be set up. We hope in the future that could happen, because some people really go overboard with how they treat animals in this country. They just don't care. All right, let's go back to the lines. Because he's not answering questions. If you just join us, we told you that we're taking calls from the public first, and then we will revert to the commissioner and his team here so that they can respond to you, right? So make use of your time, please. Hello, good morning. Hello.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, ma'am.
To you, God, Natasha, and to the Commissioner, Mr. Jacob.
Nice to hear from you once
Glad for
again.
the opportunity to talk this morning. Mr. Commissioner, are you aware that crime can be reduced if there is a banning of the use, the sale, the manufacturing of intoxicated drinks, alcohol, beer, stag? Also, there should be a ban of the sale, the smoking, the use, manufacturing of tobacco, cigarette, marijuana, which can be a problem to allow crime because, and aren't you aware that crime is acted out in theaters, movies, TV shows, and read and seen in books, novels? We should be careful about the young people when they are small looking at these shows, and the parents may say nothing is wrong, but many things are educating the people in crime, and the devil is very busy. He wants people to be educated in crime. So I think that you should look at these areas and encourage people to turn to God, because He alone can save people and make them good.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you very much for your blessings this morning. And that huge responsibility just give the commissioner there. Good morning.
Morning, sir.
Morning. Go ahead.
And the commissioner and the team there.
Yeah, morning.
Go ahead.
Well, I am very sorry for the acting commissioner. Please act. Do not attack the job to be commissioner at all, because I will live to see. When you're granted a great grand. We live in a lawless country. Starts from the head, especially minority party. If bad boy could have killed, you'd have been done buried a long time. Please, it's too good for that. What I wanted to put a motor in your mouth and anyway, you doing your part. This is a lawless country. Take my advice. Do not attack that job for commissioner. Try to live to see a great grand. Thank you.
All right.
Thank you.
Thank you
And
very
we
much.
have one more comment from Facebook.
Hello, good morning.
Oh, morning.
Hold on. Hello, good morning.
Because observe, in the interest of time, I want to make a suggestion to the acting commissioner. I don't know if it's possible that they could have a caravan going across the country. Yes, I know there are media that we could reach the citizens through the TV and what have you. But being part of a community police partnership program in South, an implementation of a strategy I remember was that bandits came home, but they weren't able to get whatever they came at. And it happened to one or two neighbors, and they networked and used strategies like putting on the lights and getting phone numbers and making an awareness in the area to see if they could apprehend whatever the perpetrator. The senior officer who was in charge said it is a good idea, but they were trying to avoid vigilante justice, and the program wasn't implemented. I know, and we are outnumbered in the police service, and so I was just suggesting that if the commissioner could try and get NGOs, religious bodies to have meetings, have community meetings, community centers, wherever, community assembly places, that, they could help get the community, the citizenry, to help the police to do their job, because they're outnumbered. And some suggestions I've been listening to is that police can't send two men on a street and every corner. That is impossible because they're outnumbered. And police service, so I am just suggesting, if it is with the military, probably in tandem with people in the know, in the media, in the whatever, to assist, because we keep saying the police, but the police alone cannot do this job. So I think that Commissioner could look at some of these ideas and see if it could be implemented for the betterment of the country.
Thank you. Thank you very much, caller.
Thank you, sir.
622, you want to take the message?
Yes, Leon says an equivalency test to join the service is also a good idea, because many people have degrees now, but they don't have a passion for policing.
Okay, good point. Good point.
Morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, sir and team, just wanted to make a suggestion. So I grew up watching the 999 with Inspector Spear and Cummins and so on.
Yes.
You know what? They had a popular evening program. Or however, on that popular evening program, I think our segment, as it has more time now, our segment should be allocated to the law and you to educate persons on the responsibilities when it comes to interacting police.
Yes.
Especially to the parts of the Police Service Act that talk about the powers of the police when interviewing people when they're in uniform and so on, and what's required of the public. And I say that this would go a long way in cutting down some of the confrontations that people have with the police when they're doing the work outside. Because inherent in those sections of the Police Service Act is that the public has a duty to assist the police when the police, especially in uniform, and come and ask them questions. I think if you do that, it will cut down a lot on the ignorance that is out there and so on. And in terms of the communications department, I think that now that the corporate communications is up and running, they can also have like weekly inserts and so on to back up what is done on the afternoon program. All in an effort to educate our public about what is required of them when they interface with the police and so on, how the police is to interface with them.
Yes, excellent idea, sir. That is actually a very, very good idea in terms of educating the public on how we are supposed to engage with police and how police are supposed to engage with us. I think that would make for better relationship.
6223937. Good morning.
Good morning to all in the studio.
Good morning.
Well, first I want to find out if the command center in the St. James barracks is up and running. That's number one. Number two, I want to ask the acting commissioner, loud music in a vehicle, is that a charge? And if it is a charge, could police officers pull these drivers off and charge them? Or if it is only licensing officers, could we, because down here in the West, we are going through hell. They're shaking your said, well, they air condition the door, close the door here. But I saw where vehicle.
Right. Thank you very much. Hello. Good morning. Too much liquor license are given out. Too much of bars in residential areas where there a lot of music playing loud day and day. Police don't respond.
I don't think the police are responsible. I don't think the police are responsible for the issuing of licenses. That is done by a court.
And I think they can go on up to the court and object. I think that's the
yes, you can.
They have that option too. If you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and we are allowing you to have a conversation here this morning with the Commissioner of Police and his communications team. Let's go back to the lines. Hello, good morning.
Good morning to the panel and to our acting Commissioner of Police. Sir, you only can work with what you have. You only can work with what you have, what has been given to you. I am backing you as a parent all the way. And I'm also saying, parents take control of your children. I have a 41 years old home by me, and he'll tell me when he's going out. And most time when he came back, I might be sleeping. But he always tell me where he is going. I am saying, sir, I hope you become the Commissioner of Police. God bless you, and be safe out there, please.
Yeah, thank you.
All right, thank you, ma'am.
One comment from Facebook before we go to the next call. Someone wants the commissioner to visit Erin Police Station when the Spanish comes in after they are transported out, then you will see the police making a spin.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, after good morning to the Commissioner of Police and a special good morning to Ms Archie coming from Lower Hillside.
Oh,
You know,
pleasant morning to you.
yeah. One of the things I am saying is that to bring that confidence back to the public, there are so many things happening under the nose of the police. And coming from South, we have houses of ill repute. We have Bertrand Street, we have Marabella. That has been going on for years. Since, Mr. Commissioner, you are officer in the Southland, and we know what we're speaking about. We have all these things happening, all these blocks happening, and no longer are we seeing that big, strong movement of the police on these blocks anymore. And I think that is where some of these murders are generated from. You know, everybody knows that with the release of certain persons in South that we are to expect some serious crimes to increase. I want to know, what are we doing about these small things? These things have been lingering. Those roulette machines in the bars, they are illegal, and they are being supported by some people. All over Trinidad and Tobago, we have roulette machines all over the place. I'm not hearing anybody being charged for that. And these carry some hefty fines, So, first have that confidence in the police. These are the things that has to happen, in that the small things that are going on, that we see happening over and over every day, we need to deal with it. Send Ms. Archie in South. Let her deal with it.
Thank you for that, caller. That's an important point about the small things that we know as citizens, we know are illegal, and this also relates to the animal cruelty issue. We know that there are laws against animal cruelty, but when they are reported, the police don't give the citizen any, a listening ear and a kind word. They are dismissed. And there are other laws and other, as the caller mentioned, in terms of gambling machines, and these things are illegal. But let's go back to the lines.
Before we do, quickly, Shortman, it seems as though the YouTube feed is still freezing up a bit. So I don't know if
I don't
possibly
think
there's
it's
nothing.
fine by me.
Okay. All right. So if you're just joining us, you're listening to Dependency, and if the YouTube feed fails, then you can send your comments to our Facebook feed and the WhatsApp message board here. And if for some reason you can't get your question answered, the comms team will go back to the program and
go back to the comments that have been made.
Could we guarantee them that, folks, Ms. Archie,
Yes,
that they will come back to the program on the feed and respond to your questions if you can't get it answered here right now. So keep sending them in. Hello, good morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
Morning, sir.
Right. From personal experience, supervision, accountability, discipline, and compliance with police standing orders seem to be an issue in the police service. Could the Commissioner of Police say what is being done to address such issues? Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay.
A question here online. Morning.
Hello, good morning.
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 Yeah, very good program. I'm glad to get the commissioner out this morning. I have two burning questions to ask. In 2020, hello?
Go ahead, caller.
Listening.
Yeah, 2021, on the 8th of January, the FIU wrote to the fraud squad asking them to investigate a certain sum of money, $3 million that entered a bank in Cuba. The person who they were investigating, after they realized that they were being investigated, they left this country permanently for Miami. And that investigation crashed. We have heard nothing about it. And I am asking whether Interpol was informed of this housewife that were being investigated by the fraud squad. Question number 2. Somebody named Vicky Rampasad? I'm in a 9-day wonder world, and I'm wondering whether the commissioner remember that name, Vicky Rampasad.
Yeah, definitely.
Remember that she's the person that fold her fist to cuff Rowley's face on Facebook? and we heard nothing from the cyber unit, no investigation whatsoever. Just send a report to the DPP if charges should be laid. I am asking the commissioner this morning if he could explain something to us on those 2 investigations. Thank you and have a good day.
Thank you. Before we take the next call, Gary, a couple of comments. Mr. Commissioner, in my observation, in metropolitan countries, there are more policemen patrolling than in the station. Can you tell us, on an average daily basis, what percentage of the total manpower is on patrol? And someone else is asking about why the officers who murdered the 3 young men in Port of Spain haven't been suspended.
There's texter from Tobago. Commissioner, I think someone from Tobago has the same problem with the device testing for people who play music loud and in their vehicle as well. So Tobago has that problem too as well. So, okay, texter noted. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Good morning, gentlemen. I want to make a statement that I heard over the television in America. It said, public trust in the police is the foundation of public security. Just remember, that's all I have to say.
All right. One texter wanted to know about masks. There are certain type of masks that are being worn. Well, I think now that the mask mandate is lifted, I think we shouldn't have to worry about that now. But a message came in here. They said that there's, the masks that are worn from the neck, like a turtleneck that can be turned into a mask and pulled right
like
way
a
up
bandana
over the
kind of thing.
right. And I think some maxi drivers are having problems with people coming in their maxis with that. Just the other day was.
Well, we no longer have that to worry about.
Well,
Monday,
yeah,
right?
I guess
So.
since the mask mandate is lifted.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. You're live.
Yes, pleasant good morning to the host, and pleasant good morning to the commissioner and his team. First of all, Commissioner, I would like to compliment you that you are doing a very good job with what you have. I understand clearly that your job is not easy. I do not envy you. But continue to keep going, and I'm certain that there are thousands and thousands who support you. I have 3 things to ask. One, is an investigation being done into the lighting or the blocking of the streets that was done recently in and around Port of Spain, into and out of Port of Spain, because according to the Minister of National Security, he is aware that money, it is alleged that money was passed and to create that sort of incident. Are you doing that? Are you following up on that investigation? Is there an investigation? Also, the minister also indicated that there are 12,000 illegal guns in Trinidad and Tobago. I'd like to know if there is a real concerted effort to I know you're doing it as best as you can, but for 12,000 illegal guns to be in the country, are you making any concerted attempt via technology to find out how these guns are coming into the country and putting a stop to it, and who is purchasing all of these guns? Because it can't be the man on the block, because most of them don't work, most of them not gainfully employed to purchase those type of weapons, especially the high-powered weapons that we are seeing being used today. And thirdly, I understand, but this is not really that much that you can do about this one, but perhaps you can have a chat with the Minister of National Security, that legislation is going to be brought to Parliament with respect to the estate constables to get them downgraded, from what I understand, where they may not be able to lose their ability to arrest people as well as to carry firearms. Are you aware of that? And if so, what is to become? Is that really a good thing? And only police officers will now be able to carry firearms? Is that really a good thing, sir?
Thank you very much. Okay. One question. Good morning. What can a person do if they are constantly being harassed by the police? And can the police come to your home and search without a warrant? That is a very important question. And another one, is there a police complaints authority in Tobago? Someone wants to find out. Remember, folks, we are taking your calls. The commissioner and his team, they are sitting here listening to you. and in the next hour we'll get them to respond to you. So get your questions in and your calls and your comments so
We have
that
another one.
yes.
Another one about someone would like an update on the $1,000 allowance that was not paid to some SRP SSA personnel. You said that you'd have an answer for us after speaking with two of the wives 2 weeks ago, and we're still waiting. Can we please hear something?
Good morning to the commission and his team. Blessings to you. And you have that, Ms. Archie recorded that, right?
Yes, she's furiously writing, furiously.
Right. Good morning to the commission and his team. Blessings to you and for your continued with our assistance and support. Your table is full and running over. This is coming from the community of Akuno. Right. We have an ongoing issue of people driving around and firing off guns. The incident occurred again this morning. Coming out of a conversation, look at the response of one of the neighbors. What can happen to effectively deal with the issue we're facing? Thanks for your assistance. God, Jesus. Hello.
What can be done about an annoying neighbor that plays loud music with no regard for his neighbors? Again, this is to the noise issue.
That was not a question for me too. Hello, good morning.
Yes, good morning. You are live.
All right. Good morning to the panel.
Morning.
I'm calling from Tobago, actually.
Morning, Tobago.
Thank you.
All right. Mr. Commissioner, I would have written to you some time ago, about 2 months ago, about concerning a situation I encountered with the police here in Tobago. I do not know if you would have received my letter. However, I would have lost faith in the police in Tobago because of the fact is that I would have filed a complaint concerning an animal that was stolen from me. They did take out a warrant for the perpetrators. They never arrested the perpetrators. No warrant wasn't given to them. When I filed a complaint at the police complaint authority in Compoint, they said they want to look into it. No one contacted me. No one said nothing. So about a month or so ago, about 2 months ago, I went to the office, find out, well, what's going on. Only there and then they told me that the officer that they would have, that I wrote them about, have moved back to Trinidad, and a hearing was indeed done, and nobody called me, told me anything at all. No arrest was made, nothing at all. And the case was shown. That was it. The officer told me down there. So I don't know what's going on.
Caller, thank you very much for your concern. It's recorded. Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for taking my call.
You're welcome. Go ahead.
I just want to be briefer. If you consider the factors that contribute to crime along the crime chain or the food chain, if you want to call it, from birth to where people actually commit crime, you'll find that along that stage, there are cases where the parenting, then they go to school, the teachers, and all other influences take place along that line that contribute or do contribute to crime. And in my opinion, a lot of effort is spent erroneously by the police to try to solve crime at the end of the food chain. If you look at it, billions of dollars is spent at the end of the food chain. I think if they cut that money in half, that billion, and start to do some intervention along that line of crime contributors, they'll get a bigger buck. And I seen it without doubt, that if this business model continues where they want to spend too much money on the police to buy guns and build police station and buy technology and all kind of thing, it is not going to help the crime scene. And I feel sorry that the police have erroneously accepted that responsibility, that they could reduce crime by taking away the amount of guns that come in and all. That is not going to happen. They have to take away the people who want to look for the guns, the people who desire to use guns. That have to reduce.
All right, Caller, thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
On a lighter note, Commissioner, someone is asking, are you applying for the position of COP? Uneasy is the head that wears
That's
the
a
crown,
lighter
and
note.
this job is a good example of that. Whichever way you choose, I want to thank you for your willingness to serve your country in this capacity. You are appreciated.
Right. We
Another
have another comment from Annette. Um, again on the animal cruelty issue. Why are officers not apprised of the laws against animal abuse? They appear not to be aware. I have been laughed at by officers when making reports on animal abuse. It is a disgrace.
Good morning. Question: Are the families of police officers killed in the line of duty getting the $1 million from the government?
Good
All right.
question.
Somebody wants to know. If you're now joining us, you're listening to and hold on, caller. You're listening to Dependency right here on I-95.5 FM live on the Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel. You having problems on the YouTube channel? Just go to Dependency live on Facebook, and you can find our live feed there as well. Let's go back to the lines. Good morning.
Good morning.
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 Morning, Mr. Commissioner.
Morning.
Go ahead, caller.
To prevent cross-contamination, any officer who is on a disciplinary charge must be forthwith removed and sent to either headquarters or the barracks and put on desk duties or sentry for 6 months and then be transferred to our next area. That will stop police misbehavior. Thank you very much.
All right, heard that. Hello, 622-3937. 622-3937. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
About 4 years ago, the Barbados government announced the increase of guns and ammunition in Barbados, and the reason was they came to legitimate ports and unscrupulous custom officers. I said if that statement is made in Trinidad, customs strike the next day. I've heard of lately the police want a presence on the port with these guns because the statement that was made, they came to pirogues from Venezuela. And now that we have got that, what will happen? First batch of dog food cleared was to customs and went away. The second batch, when they realized there were guns and ammunition, they go back to the first, which they could not find. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, sir. 622-3937 is the number to call.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Right, Commissioner, in light of what transpired in Rich Plain, would you give this country an apology for the outburst you made, which was where we get to be false now? We want to hear that.
Thank you very much. 622-3937. Hello, good morning. 622-3937. Good morning.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
I am asking the Commissioner. Money that you promised when you came downstairs and you spoke to two individuals and you said the only time you will call us is for tax. And we calling you, Mr. Commissioner, and you never did answer your phone.
Good morning.
Hi, good morning, God.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. Good program. I want to find out something. What is the law for people to, you have people coming in your area and showing threats? Now, why I'm saying that, I'm calling from the St. Paul Street area, Pre-Simon Flats. Now, Pre-Simon Flats is an ETC housing department. Now, we're having an issue since 2019. We're having people coming from outside the area and showing party right on our background. Now, the party does be thrown on the compound of Simon Flat. God, if you open your back door, you are in effect. Many times we have complained to the police, which is St. Paul Street Police Station, and we are not getting redress with this problem. God, because these people when they come, they start the party 5 o'clock in the morning, and God, and when the party starts at that time, people can't sleep. The music is the worst set of music, obscene language. It is so terrible, and we are calling on the police to do something because we know the party is illegal. You understand? Because the party is on the back, as I say, at the back of HEC on the compound of pre-Simon flats. Now these people them doesn't get no authority, in getting authority from HEC. They're not coming and talk to the residents, telling us, well, they want to throw so and so party and thing, and we are getting so much a problem with this issue wrong here. As I say, since 2019, this happened every public holiday. These people are coming and throwing party, at our compound, and it is wrong. So,
thank you very much.
No, caller,
These
this
are
is
quality of life issues that
no,
really
but
should be.
this is something he has been complaining about
Yeah.
for at least 2 years or more, and there seems to be no redress for it, and it seems as though that anybody could just pitch a tent, get a DJ,
And
and
says,
and I think it's something because you want to throw a party and all of that, nobody is saying no, but once it's to the discomfort of people, I think maybe there should be zones, delegated for throwing parties and let people get their rest in peace. Hello, good morning. Good morning.
Hi, good morning.
Go ahead, caller.
Yes, I'm calling from the monastery.
You're breaking up, caller. You're breaking up.
Okay, I'm sorry. Can you hear me now?
Try again, let's see.
Yeah, I'm calling from Central area, where there is an influx of foreigners. They keep in there driving cars and bikes and walking the streets normal. You observe we also have an increase in the central area.
All right, caller. Try again. You really go back up. Let's read that, Gary. Police community oriented policing section, Central Division, police sports club. Asking, you have young people home right now, folks. So they're asking between the 7 and 29 years old on 19 July to 12 August 2022 at the Edinburgh 500 recreational facility. You have football, basketball, cricket, hockey, you name it, all the sports, and it's absolutely free. So come, get back the number, Gary. Let's write down these numbers, folks. 461-1211. That's 461-1211, 378-6706. That's 378-6706, 343-9827, 343-9827, and 745-6164. That's 745-6164. Let's get those youths active and involved. All right, 6223937. Good morning. Go ahead, Natasha. Caller.
Oh,
all right. Go ahead. Go ahead. You're listening to Dependency. We're speaking with the Commissioner of Police and his communications team. They are all in studio listening to your concerns and your comments. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning, Police and his communications team there.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, sir.
For so long, over 15 to 20 years now, we have been hearing of the budget of Trinidad and Tobago, and almost 80% of the budget normally it goes towards national security. Yet still, as much as we have pretty new cars, lots of new infrastructure in terms of every election, you're seeing 3, 4, 5, 6 police stations going up all over the place. Crime is not going down. I mean, it's rampant all over Trinidad and Tobago. Look, for instance, what's taking place right now. So many killings, no detection, or whatever detection they happen.
You have the army that is sitting down and actually doing absolutely nothing. When, I mean, yes, there's some sort of legislation to put them to work, but put them to work with the police officers where there could be some level of assistance instead of paying money for them to sit down and eat food and sleep all day.
Thank you very much. And
that comment wouldn't go down well here, you know.
No, not here. Trust me.
Not here.
Because you don't have a clue what the army do when
And
the day
they are
comes.
working
As a matter of fact,
alongside police.
when you sleep in, they up before you even turn.
Correct.
So I resent that comment, and I'm not accepting
We rebuke
that.
it.
Rebuke that in Jesus'
And
name.
another comment, why is the Litter Act not enforced? I hear litter wardens existing. What do they look like? What are the charges? This culture is filthy, and many Trinis do not have pride in our country.
Hello, good morning. 622-3937. Good morning.
Hello.
Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, good morning. I just want to endorse the very first caller, and then the other lady with the music and with the cars and everything. Western, Mr. Commissioner, Western Police Station needs a very hard shake-up. Thank you very much, and have a good day, everyone.
You know, just like anyway, just let me I try my best to get that call out my head what I heard just now.
All right, forget about that.
Because
Another
the anniversary,
comment
the anniversary of 1990 coming, and we
Mhm.
love the army then, you know, and it's not like that's the only event that they took part in and everybody going back to sleep and playing cards. But always have a little more respect for the police and the military now.
needs to do some PR too. God.
Good morning.
Someone says they recently called the firearms unit and they were informed by the officer on the other side that the office is not currently entertaining requests for firearms variation. Can you clarify if this is indeed true? And if not, can you state when the variations will be considered going forward?
Hello, good morning.
I don't know if I got cut off just now, but I was asking the commissioner and he did not respond. I'm asking what about the money for the SRPs and so on.
He has noted your concern,
All right,
sir.
we noted it, sir,
He's
and
noted it,
I'm sure you heard the comment. And that's why I say we taking. You want him to respond now? We taking your calls, and we'll respond later on. Let's go, Gary. 622-3937. Good morning.
Someone else
622.
asked, is the police sea patrol still alive? I know there's the Marine
The
unit.
Marine branch, yes.
The reason for asking is the amount of illegal guns entering the country. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I just joined the program, so I might miss out on some of this stuff. But one of the things I wanted to find out is what are they doing concerning the police killing? Because we have an average of over 50 police killings per annum. And you're not saying anything about any investigations about these things. All you hear is man point a gun at police or open fire on police and police return fire, paying for their life. Nothing wrong with that. But where is the information after that? Also, the police need PR. For example, coming in places, say, for instance, Lavantel and all that kind of thing. You can't ask your police not to help, get a gun, but. All right? So we want to find out what is it following up to these extrajudicial killings by police, which is average over 50 per annum.
50 per annum. I don't know if that ratio is correct.
622. Remember,
Your point has been
folks,
noted.
that you also leave your comments up. Annette, I don't know what happened with your feed, but we seen all the comments here. But you can join us on YouTube or Facebook if you want to make a contribution, or call us at 622-3937. If you don't get all your questions answered today, the communications team will go back to this program on our Facebook and answer your questions for you diligently. All right? So your questions will not go unanswered. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
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 Good morning.
Go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Go ahead, caller. You're live on the air.
Yes, I call from Tobago.
Go ahead, Tobago.
Yes. A question I would like to ask. The three persons that get shoot, that is a police shoot. If you are a law-abiding citizen, especially in the night, and you see police coming, what you supposed to do? Not pull aside and park? Why you speed off?
Thank you.
6223937. Good morning.
Hi, good morning. Good morning,
Good morning.
to the Commissioner.
Good morning,
Good morning, everybody.
Turn off your
Take off your radio, please.
Yes. Yes.
Take off your radio.
All about concern is the vendors and the highway. People pitching tents, they're doing all sorts of things vending. We had an incident some years ago where a mother and her son get run over by a truck. Why there are so many vendings on the highway? Thank you.
Thank you for that, ma'am. You have a question from Facebook. How much is canteen culture affecting good work performance? Canteen culture in quotes. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah, morning.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I would like to know if those uniforms that police are now wearing, or everybody have a different type of uniform, whether those uniforms are gazetted. Because everybody could just put on a black shirt, a black jacket, write police on it, and do what they want on the outside. I would like to know whether those uniforms are gazetted.
All right.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you very much
for that
Good morning.
comment.
Come now.
Someone is also asking, what happens to guns and ammunition when they are seized? Are they recycled? Are they destroyed? Is there any form of audit taken place for seized weapons?
Someone saying Tunapuna Police Station functions well. Arima Police Station needs an overhaul. Okay, all right. Gary, there's a comment. Please. See what.
Morning, sir. Go ahead.
Come now.
Good morning. The guard and the young lady and my commissioner McDonald Jacob and his co-host with him. I have a problem with the Princeton Police Station.
Mm-hmm.
Those officers, most of the time, they only comes out to buy something to eat. You know what I mean? To go in a restaurant or, you know what I mean? To buy food, right? That only comes out to eat. Now and then you may see officers parading the street. It's mostly the municipal police will be traveling in their vehicle. But the Princeton TTPS, they always in the station yard. And only on a holiday roadblock, but they're always in the yard. Mr. McDonald Jacob. And two, Jack Warner had mentioned something years ago. Once you have a car, you're supposed to have your car number. That is your number. If you sell it, you still have your number. Too many car thieves, and look how many years Jack Warner had mentioned that. We need that in this country. Every car owner have he or she own car numbers. So the car thieves wouldn't be able to be, having their own numbers. Great show. Thank you.
All right. One caller, one texter asked, why do police use their blue lights all the time? And another one asked, is there a cutoff time for police stations? Because some of them close after midnight.
I shouldn't be laughing at that, but okay. We have another comment from Facebook. What is being put in place for the increasing acts of animal abuse? Reports to the police station seem to be a waste of time as there's no follow-up. Most of the time, they're unaware of the laws pertaining to animals. And another one from WhatsApp. What can be done with the sale of poison? It appears that anyone can just buy such items like Gramoxone, which, as we know, is commonly used to poison both humans and predominantly dogs. Secondly, unfortunately, it appears that a lot of officers are not aware of the fact that people can be charged for cruelty to animals. Why can we not get the backing of police when acts of cruelty occur?
622-3937. We take two more set of calls before we take a break and get the team here to respond to you.
Yep.
Let's go. Good morning.
Pleasant good morning to God and Natasha.
Go ahead, sir.
To the Commissioner, Police, and all other guests.
Morning.
I have been listening to a great program, God. I'm listening and I'm reading comments. And one of the comments I've seen is that the type of people that getting into the police. And here we might have some undesirables, but I know how hard it is to be recruiting from a pool of people that from communities that are challenged. And if we are to overcome the type of individuals getting into the police, I know a great improvement need to be made on the recruiting aspect. But I know how hard it is. And I just want to encourage the commissioner. And let me just say that I was so proud to see the commissioner appointed as a past student of his in Cipriani. I know you have to get together with a great task force and see what could be done so that when you are recruiting, undesirables are identified early and refuse entry. I have a small concern though. More than once I have been on the roadway driving, and especially recently by Carlos Street. Members of the Spanish community driving totally ignore the traffic light and continue driving, almost hit me and my family, and continue driving. And there was a police and I stopped him, pointed out the car, and they just watch me and say, well, don't waste my time now. And these are little concerns that may be more a licensing office challenge. But the mere fact that a dangerous drive took place and you inform somebody who's supposed to be able to do something and they didn't. And I know there are times citizens complain of these inactivity of the police when they make reports. And I just hope, Commissioner, that you could find a way to improve these services. I am proud of my police service because I know there are more good police officers than there are bad police officers.
Okay, thank you very much.
But the battle is ongoing. Thank you very much.
All right, yes. Talking about, police pulling the milk and some officers killed. Last week, a report was posted that 2 police officers were drinking alcohol at Frankie's Bar in Dow Village, Oropuch. Nothing was done. We waited for 1 hour after report sent and nothing.
Also,
go ahead.
Why are animal abuse reports being ignored for the most part and laws governing animal welfare not enforced? We are seeing a steep rise in animal abuse, and these can also be indicators of domestic or other types of abuse. They need to be taken seriously and prosecuted. Our laws have been amended, but there's no enforcement.
All right, Gary, we take one more and we go to a break. 622-3937. Good morning.
Good morning, Gad and Natasha.
Good morning.
And good morning, Commissioner and all listeners.
Morning.
Commissioner, I'm a retired professional. Mine is a word of encouragement to you in the task of managing and leading this police service. The one thing I would like to offer is something I do in normal talk. Whatever our complaints are about our country, about the police service and other institutions, it is not dog and cats that pulling it down. So I want to encourage you to find a way with your good staff to motivate your policemen to always hold on to that sense of belonging, recognizing all the time the important role they play in society, given the challenges that we have to face with the behavior of people all around this country. You all have a role to play. I, for one, respect you, and I think that most people respect the police. So this is my word of encouragement, Commissioner, and good luck with all the endeavors of the police service.
Thank you very much, Major. And we could go to a break on that note. Before we do, someone from Richmond, Virginia, sent in a comment. What is it with a country as small as Trinidad that the police don't know where the criminals are? If they could find Saddam in a hole in a country as huge as Iraq, why can't we find these criminals in Trinidad? Trinidad is a brand. They are damaging the brand called Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you, Richmond, Virginia.
On that note, I have a brilliant comment to make on that in terms of the brand Trinidad and Tobago. And this again goes back to animal cruelty and how it is treated in Tobago, which is a destination for a lot of tourists from Europe and North America. And as far as I understand, the police are not taking seriously the reports that are coming to them, and it is deterring people from visiting Tobago when they see animals on the street being poisoned, being chopped, being abandoned, being dumped. They are distressed, and it is not a good look for Tobago in particular. The attitude that people in general have about animal cruelty, and of course the response of the police to these acts when they're reported.
All
Just
right.
want to get that off my chest.
Let's go to that break. Yes, Shari, it's dogs. There are dogs, a lot of dogs that are being, ill-treated in Trinidad and Tobago.
Dogs and cats.
And cats, Let's take that break, Gary. And folks, if you get time, we take some more calls, but keep your comments coming in on Facebook and YouTube.
And when we come back, the commissioner will have
Yes, and his
say,
team
and
will
be able to
respond. All right, they have listened to you. Now it's time to hear from them.
Yeah.
Let's take that break. We'll be back.
Finally, Welcome Relief comes in the form of a scientific-based program that shows us how to manage through the tough, current challenges. Called Habitalism. It features best-selling author on positivity and happiness, Dr. Tal Ben-Shahar, integrated with the award-winning Intangence methodology of Ross. Visit habitalism.me to register now for this free life-transforming program endorsed by the United Nations established University for Peace. Gifted by Guardian Group. Live easy.
Don't become a headline. Doing construction, picking fruit, or trimming trees? Keep bamboo rods, ladders, scaffolding, roof beams, oversized material of any type, and body parts at least 15 feet from electricity poles and lines. Before doing any type of work close to overhead lines or to the point of connection to your home, and before digging where there are underground lines, contact T&Tech for a temporary disconnection so you can work safely. T&Tech, the power to make it work.
Cappy, talk to you now, boy. Got a small work for you to do. Make a quick 10 G's. We go do for me. 10 G's? What's that you want to do there, boy? What do you mean? Taking your boat, run up the islands, pick up some people and then bring them back here for me. That's all you have to do.
That's something like human trafficking, man. That's a serious crime. I can't make that.
Trafficking in human beings is a serious violation of a person's human rights. It violates a person's right to freedom of movement, freedom of choice, freedom of speech, and freedom of identity. It is a heinous crime which affects local, regional, and international peace and security. A victim of human trafficking is subjected to many types of abuse. The crime destroys a person's dignity and self-worth. Victims often feel hopeless, are suicidal, and are stigmatized in their communities. Child victims are deprived of their rights to education, play, and social interactions. They're essentially robbed of their childhood, and that can never be regained once those years have passed. If we do little or nothing to fight against human trafficking in our country, we can face economic sanctions from international agencies and partners. Our country will be losing money. Doing little or nothing to fight against human trafficking will tarnish our country's international image and, most of all, the value we place on human life. Human trafficking is no respecter of persons. Anyone can be a victim. So let us all strive to safeguard human life and dignity in Trinidad and Tobago.
We are the Counter-Trafficking Unit of the Ministry of National Security, Trinidad and Tobago, safeguarding human life.
Eye on Dependency with Garth and Natasha.
Reality radio at its best, where every life is a biography.
Sundays at 10 a.m. and exclusively on I-95.5 FM.
And streamed live on the Eye on Dependency Facebook page and YouTube channel.
Thank you for staying with us. This is Eye on Dependency, and we have in studio taking your questions and comments and concerns is the Acting Commissioner of Police, Mr. McDonald Jacob, and DCP Archie, and Inspector Lewis. They're all here. They have been listening for the last hour. They have been taking notes. They have been diligently listening, actively listening, I should say,
Yes,
to everything that is being said. And we are now going to allow the commissioner to respond to some of the comments that we allow him to prioritize what he would like to respond to, but we also have some questions for him. So,
right, and Ms. Archie, so Commissioner, you have Ms. Archie back on your team, and we have Inspector Lewis. Is this a new comms team and a new look for your communications unit going forward? Could tell us about, because we saw a release yesterday where Mr. Hill has proceeded on retirement leave, and now Ms. Archie be sitting in seat. So let the listener know, because some might be confused and say, Ms. Archie, what's she doing? I thought she retired. People ask that question because who have not read or heard. So could you get that out of the way first?
Well, in first instance, Ms. Archie is back as a consultant in our corporate communication section.
Right.
And our corporate communication is very, very crucial for us, especially in these times when the media plays such an important role, not just the traditional media, but also the social media. Inspector Lewis is in fact one of our media ambassadors, and now we have brought her in to the Office of the Corporate Communication directly to work, as Mr. Hill is now on a pre-retirement leave. And we even have to look at our corporate communication even further to build it, to really and truly bring forward what is happening in the police service and all the positive and how we handle things and handle the media, because it's important that the population out there be fully aware of what is happening in the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. And even from some of the questions that were asked and comments, we recognize that there's a lot of information that exists within the police service that the population don't know. The question of the aspect of the 999 program, and that was existing, very good idea. The law, the police, the law, and you, a lot of information passed, and I know that Ms. Archie and Ms. Lewis take note, and definitely we'll look to see how we can actually improve our communication with the public out there.
Right. So, Commissioner, you've heard at least, some of the citizens this morning. How do you, there are a number of police-involved shootings and resulting in the protests in the past month, and we have all of that wrapped up into one question here. So, can you update us on the matters of police-involved shootings and resulting protests and in the past month, and how the police plan to deal with all of what you're hearing? You have a lot on your plate this morning.
Well, starting at the right place, because I think that is the most, those are the most burning issues that are existing in the society today, where a lot of questions are being asked. And I first wanted to start with the investigation involving the death of PC Jerks that occurred on the 22nd to the 4th of April, and persons are asking, they know that the Police Complaints Authority had a release in relation to their outcome of their part of the investigation. But that investigation is still ongoing. And it is noteworthy that our investigators, headed by Senior Superintendent Chandu, over the period, interviewed approximately 25 persons, recorded statements, from a number of civilians, as we will say, who may have some part to play within that investigation, and about 20 police officers. There is a team of 10 police officers assisting him in that investigation. I simply want to indicate this is not so simplistic as persons feel, and I know persons are crying to get the outcome. We depend on the Forensic Science Center. Yes, we got ballistics report. We have the GRS report. That is the actual gun residue aspect of it, and all these statements, as I mentioned, need to be authenticated by a GP. They had visited the DPP office on 2 occasions, and they got advice with other things that they need to follow up on. At times, while conducting the investigation, you heard about 3 or 4 of the persons assisted in the investigations was in fact on quarantine as a result of the whole aspect of COVID-19. It's expected that within the next few days, this investigation will be wrapped up, you know. And in addition to that, it even include aspects of DNA testing. So there's a lot of things that you remember when an investigation is being done, there are certain things that need to be considered. And what must be considered in doing our investigation is the presumption of innocence on both sides. So the investigation must be done in accordance with the rule of law and what is required. There are standards that are set. I know that whenever we're doing this investigation, there's a lot of calls from comments on social media. Everybody wants it to end up to be swift. We also want it to be swift, but the rules of natural justice must be prevailed.
All right, so Commissioner, sorry to jump in here, but you could probably let us know what are the levels of investigation then when looking into potential criminal acts by police officers. How can the public expect that the police can reliably investigate themselves?
Well, this have been a question being posed a lot, and our data will show that the police in Trinidad and Tobago, through our Professional Standards Bureau, in fact, have been investigating their own. Just for this year alone, we have 18 police officers who are charged criminally before the court, and 52 officers are on suspension at this point in time, resulting from the police investigation. And if you go back in the past years, you will see that is something constant. Our Professional Standards Bureau is a group of officers who, you hear the name professional standards, and they operate at a particular level, right? And, the point I was trying to make earlier, the Professional Standards Bureau, they need to take also the rules of natural justice in consideration. And that is the reason why when something happens, you need to take statements from both sides. You need to get that information. So it tends to take some time in doing the investigation. We have some other important investigations outstanding as we end that, and I want to deal with the shooting that took place, the 3 young men who were killed in Port of Spain involving the involved police shootings, which occurred on the 2nd of July. Again, just on Friday, Senior Superintendent Brandon John and his team is a team of 7 officers, including the investigator. So you recognize when we have these investigations, we need to get a pool of officers to work with the investigation, right? We call it the team approach to investigation. That is to speed up the approach. Long ago, one person get to investigate and they have to go along for a long period on their own. Now we have a team of persons supporting the investigators. So they went by the DPP and they got certain direction and advice. So right over this weekend here, they are continuing their investigation, and they need to return to the DPP sometime in the middle of this week as they get the appointment, because there's a few things that they need to do in order to wrap up that other part of the investigation. Yes, we have placed the officers involved on desk duty. They are away from the Port of Spain division where the investigation is being conducted, because they are attached to the Guard Emergency Branch and to the Western Division and not to the Port of Spain Division to say that they are close by. So the investigation is being conducted. So by the end of next week, we should have some sort of closure on that particular investigation.
Okay, now with regard to CCTV equipment, what can you share about the use of it and where they're located, the footage, and how can it assist in solving crime? Because, there was talk about the person, thank God, and we have to congratulate the police, because I haven't heard anybody do that, for capturing the guy who bounced Anthony Harris, who knocked him down and killed him. And it's quite obvious, Commissioner, that this person was up to no good, because from the report that they painted over the vehicle and all, so he had no intention of giving himself up. And we thank the police for that diligent work in capturing that culprit. But Commissioner, can you tell us about that, the CCTV?
Yeah, definitely. But I just want 1 minute to close off on that area of investigation. There is in fact the investigations that was standing for 2 years now in relation to the Mofa killing.
Right.
Right now we have police officers being interviewed again we are hoping by the end of this week that we could come to some closure, concerning that particular investigation. Again, it's a team of officers with the assistance of the Professional Standards Bureau conducting that investigation. It involved the same issues that we were having with persons who were on quarantine with COVID. Even one of the prime persons to be interviewed was out of the country for a period of 4 months. So there were, in fact, some delay in that investigation, but I'm happy to say that it is coming to a closure. After the visit to the DPP over last week, they, in fact, detained the officers and they are being interviewed at this point. And as I said, most likely by midweek or the end of this week, we will get something further in relation to that investigation. Concerning the aspect of the CCTV footage and the operational centers, and a question was asked about our operational center and if it still exists. In fact, we have our operational center at St. James, and we also have an operational center, the main operational center. One operational center take calls, that is the E99 Command Center, based at our police academy. They take calls and send it out to the various stations and vehicles. But we also have an operational center where we have persons trained in the area of the records management database, the licensing database, and also do the coverage of the CCTVs throughout Trinidad and Tobago. So therefore, once we have a proper CCTV grid, we have that main center that can capture and see what is happening. If something is happening, they can monitor it. There is also a command center at the police headquarters, which we call the Commissioner Command Center, that basically now work until basically 10 in the night. Unless something happens, we'll work them. So that the Commissioner of Police, if something happens, he can go up there and monitor things. So the question asks is, if we were monitoring things, yes, we monitor things from there. But what we did, in order for us to move forward, in relation to developing things in Trinidad and Tobago, we have 7 police divisions with their own operational center that work 24/7. These operational centers are fitted with the same sort of equipment like our main operational center, but they concentrate on the particular division that they covers. So you'll find that they will have the different points and they will do the monitoring and they will link with the patrols on the outside, even track the GPS in vehicles. So we have those centers, just 2 other centers that we need to open. 3 centers was recently opened. In relation to the matter concerning the Savannah, we were able to get footage, right, in the first instance, in searching the various cameras, and these persons who do this work, they need to have a certain level of expertise. Yes. They are trained accordingly. It is not a simple thing, because you are now going to look after the fact to try to see how we can bring it down to this particular incident. There are several cameras. So in the first instance, when they do the necessary searching, they did not come up with the actual accident itself. They came up with certain information which was helpful to us. Right, when they review everything and they look again from a certain distance, because we have something called journey to crime, journey to crime and from crime. So therefore, we may not pick up your vehicle at a certain point when an incident happens, where we can pick it up by another camera, and then we tag that vehicle and we pull it to the point of where the incident happened. Okay. So on that additional work, on the following day, they were able to get the necessary footage that is required to support us. Plus, as I mentioned in the media, CCTV is just a support mechanism for the police to do investigation. We have our traditional way of doing investigations, and in fact, the traditional way of doing investigation, by interviewing persons, conversing, talking with persons, doing other works, we were able to get additional information that assists us in that investigation. And after that was completed, then we got the additional footage, which will be very helpful for the investigation.
And that footage can be used in evidence now, or how is the footage used in terms of, yes, determining who the guilty parties may be, but can it be further used to convict or in a court of law?
Right. So I will answer you like this. There are several officers who work within the operational centers who are trained as experts to give evidence in court.
Right.
It is in fact in our Evidence Act permitted that that evidence can be given in court. But you know, it will be given together with other pieces of evidence in order to reach the standard. And you know what standard is beyond reasonable doubt in instances.
Yes.
So it is used, even footage from a cell phone. But the point is, you need to evidence it. There are certain things you need to do. The persons who captured the method that you use, you need to go in court. The court will deem persons an expert in the area, and then the evidence will be accepted in court. So I heard a lot of questions being asked whether or not footage can be accepted in court. In fact, even sometimes some police officers ask that question, and it demonstrates us that we have to go out and educate our police officers also. It can be used in evidence. We have had several occasions where our experts have gone to court and give evidence using the technology and actually showing the court what happened and explain. But you must show how your system works, how it is done in a rigid way. So the question of persons who might hack in to do things, all of that, you have to prove all of that.
Yes.
Yeah, in order for it to be accepted in court.
Okay, well, that is very good news about that incident in particular. So I hope there's a speedy resolve. Do you want to add something?
Yes. You know, we're dealing with the aspect of we arrested up someone, detained someone, interviewed that person, and that concerning that incident, and the person was released. That doesn't mean to say that is the end of the investigation.
Right.
You'll realize that we conduct investigation in a particular manner, and I talk about the presumption of innocence, which is a core facet in our democratic society, and it needs definitely to be followed rigidly. So we don't want to detain persons unnecessarily as we go along. There are always opportunities for us to rearrest persons, take out warrants for persons. So when you hear times, not even in this situation, I heard in other situations where we arrested persons, we detain them, interview them, and release, and persons feel that that is the end of it. That is not the end of it. The investigations are in fact continuing.
To move on to another issue quickly about the pepper spray devices. What is the process by which citizens can acquire these devices?
Because it's now legal to apply for one, right? As far as we heard the lawmakers say.
Yes, well, we have everything. We have everything organized, right? But you know, in my head, before I go to the pepper spray, I just wanted to indicate to the general public why it is necessary that the police adhere to the requirements of the law and what is enshrined in our constitution when we are doing investigations, and not just adhering to what persons comments and what comes out on the social media. We have done so in the past, and the police service at present, within the last few years, have lost in the civil court about 52 of matters in instances dealing with police officers and dealing with the manner in how we handle things, basically violating, we have to say violating aspects of what is the procedure, you know, and that is not good for us in the police service. So now we have to buckle down and adhere to the requirements of the law and not to the requirements of what is being put out there on social media and the demands of the persons on social media. We must know about due process and what is required in the law. As it relates to the question of the pepper spray, I had down here a whole procedure with the pepper spray. You know that recently, through our corporate communication, we put out a release stating that for dealers, they can apply, you know, to get that license to bring in the pepper spray in the country.
Okay.
But they need to go online and apply. When they go online and apply, they now will print out, after they fill out the form online, they will print out that form and they will go to the nearest police station. They have to pay $50.
And this is the TTPS website?
Yeah, the TTPS website.
TTPS.gov.tt.
Yes. And they pay the $50 and they will in fact get a receipt But while they go at the when they reach at the station, they will also need to take their fingerprints impression.
Okay.
But they will not have to pay for the taking of the fingerprint impression. The $50 to deal with the whole aspect of processing the application, right? They will have to now go back and download that onto the system. And after that download on the system, we'll now activate a mini investigation by an investigator, right? And
on that individual.
yes, and within 10 working days, average of 10 working days, the person will get a response, right, with the license once everything is okay for them to go ahead and deal with it. The other processes for the retailers, and also for the consumers will be similar, but it's just different dates, right? Because for the retailers, really from the 30th of from the consumers is really from the 30th of August. The retailers is from the 1st of August, and they follow the same processes where it is uploaded. It's just that for the consumers, while the retailers and the dealers will take about 10 working days, with the consumers will take about 5 working days in order for them to get the opportunity to get the okay to purchase the
So
pepper
is it
spray.
that consumers will have to go to their application to have this device will be processed by the retailer, him or herself, or by the police?
No, we have a section in our firearms section that will be doing the whole processing of it.
Okay.
And it will be the final approval will be done by ACP, who covers a particular region. Like we have a assistant commissioner of police who cover 2 divisions, in some instances 3 divisions. They will do the final approval after the firearms section will send the information to that ACP online, and he now will do the approval. So the person will have to leave Miaro and come up to Port of Spain.
Right,
They will only have to leave Point Fortin and come up to Port of Spain. They will be able to go at their region, like Point Fortin may need to reach by the ECP right in San Fernando,
Right.
in order to get that final
So this
outcome.
device is being treated as a dangerous weapon. If it's being processed alongside
Yes. It
guidelines,
can be
it's
considered
considered
a
a weapon?
prohibited weapon,
Right.
if you don't have the license
Right.
for it and it is found in your possession.
Gotcha.
Okay, so you need to have the license, but the police must do the initial checks, because according to the law, we cannot permit persons who are violent nature
to
own. And I wish to indicate that having a certificate of good character where you have where you will never charge doesn't mean to say that automatically it will be approved, because on our records management database, we will have instances where we have 10, 15 reports on persons who may have threatened persons, may have done other things, which may not have amounted to a charge, but there's a history of the making threats and doing other things to persons. They also will be denied. We are prepared because we know some persons will appeal, some persons will take things to court. But the point is that we have to ensure that the pepper spray is given to the persons who really need it, and who will not use it for the wrong reasons.
Can I just train a question? Is there a cutoff age to apply for an FUL?
Yeah, in Trinidad and Tobago, it's 25 years.
No.
No.
Yeah.
There is no cutoff age, but there is within there mechanism where you will need to prove, you have to get medical reports, physically able to, so that is and then you have to do psychometric testing and all the other aspects. So it is not that persons who are not keeping, and even when the officers do the visit to the firearm, the firearm owners, and if they're of the opinion that the persons have reached the stage that they are so incapacitated that they cannot handle the firearm, we can make recommendations and take back the firearm.
Okay.
Seize the firearm from the individuals.
God, can I just squeeze in one question before we go to the final one, please? I just wanted to ask or get a response from the commissioner on the animal control or welfare unit within the police service. We were under the impression, many of us, that one, with the previous commissioner, that one was in place. But none of the officers I have spoken to, and certainly other people, don't know of this specialized unit existing within the police service. Can you address that issue, please?
To address that, I know that there were a few officers who were specially trained, but the establishment of the unit itself is something that I have to look into, because I don't know about a unit specialized.
Okay.
You know, what we want to do is to first have a general awareness program, right, through our corporate communication, you know, throughout the police service, bringing persons who are experts in the areas, you know. The point is that we can have the law there, which can be enforced, but if the officers don't understand and appreciate
yes,
the law itself and why it is so, you know, even though you will have a unit or so, you will have the enforcement, and a unit could only be a small number of police officers doing it. One of the issues that we had over the years, we saw a unit, we went in a one-star units, one-star sections, and that created some problems in the sense that the stations indirectly became redundant with a lot of information tools and things that they required. So we want to have specialized units, but these units will be the units that can go and educate the police officers when something happened and the police officers in the station or the division is taking action. You have a group of persons who can guide them along in what to do, everything, but you cannot have a unit as that unit to do all the enforcement, right? And then you have all the other police officers not even aware what it's all about, you know. So if you have that unit based in central Trinidad and they are operating, you have two units, and something happened in Point 14, should they leave? And that is some of the problems that we are having. So if we are dealing with that aspect, we want all police officers in the various stations to have a knowledge of it, how to deal with it. We use the technology, we put it up on our intranet, step by step. If it occurred, this is required, this is the copy I charge, numbers to call if they are not sure. That is what we have to do. So yes, we need to have a small unit with experts, but we really need to spread that knowledge throughout the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service.
Commissioner,
thank you very much, sir.
Finally, and this is what this program was all about this morning too as well, engendering public trust and confidence in officers sworn to protect and serve. Some of the citizens really do feel betrayed by our officers, and it starts when you all put their picture in the newspaper, asking people they wanted, you know, be paid by you to protect you. So give them an opportunity. When they get the opportunity now, they turn into somebody else, and they actually sometimes seems to turn on the same people who say yes, recruit them. How and I know Ms. Archie and your communications unit, you all have a real task at hand in having the public regain trust and confidence in the police service. How you all plan to do this?
Well, I will be the first to admit that within the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, we have some challenges in relation to that whole aspect of police legitimacy and which impact on public trust and confidence, you know. And the question, well, one of the commenters earlier mentioned that he's sure that the majority of police officers are hardworking and honest, but we have a few, just like what is happening with the crime in the country, and that is so true, that the majority of officers are honest, they have a high level of integrity, but we have persons who tend to go the other way. Yes, we can have a tight recruitment process that we in fact have a tight recruitment process. We do vetting, we do a lot of work. But after persons come within the police service, you know, and they go there and they start to work, you know, things do happen, you know, and persons tend to get involved in activities. That is why one of the things that we have introduced in our strategic plan for 2022 to 2024 is rotation. You know, where we're looking to rotate officers. One of the callers suggested that rotating the officers, you know, and then our performance management system, we are looking to, you know, operationalize it more effectively, in order that we can actually monitor officers. But what have been happening now, the law have changed in such a way that is beneficial to us, because the whole aspect of misbehavior in public office, the question of tipping off, perverting the course of justice. And we are going around and educating police officers concerning that, because it's so easy to be drawn in where you can be charged and placed before the court. Training and development is very, very important. So you can do what you want at the recruitment aspect stage, right? And we get young persons, and when you check everything is okay, what we need to do to have a continuation even during the career in relation to our training, constant training and development of our officers. So again, our corporate communication will play a very, very important part with that aspect, and the whole aspect of procedural legitimacy comes in. And why I say corporate communication, the question of having the program explaining to persons out there what are the roles and functions of the police officers, what is provided to the police in the social contract, because some persons don't know that police officers can stop and search a car without a warrant, right? They believe you have to have a warrant. But in the social contract, once we have reasonable cause to believe that firearms and ammunition is in a vehicle, we can. If we're in a hot pursuit of someone and they run into a house, we can follow them without a warrant to once search to hold that person. But if we are going in a house to search for arms and ammunition, for drugs, we need to get a warrant. And the law now is clear in relation to case law in the context of showing that person, or even handing that person a copy of the warrant. So we are now ensuring that our officers, when they go to execute search warrants, they have a copy of it. Now is modern times. So it is easy for us now to make a copy and hand it over to the person. If they want to share up the copy, but we will do what is required to be done. All of that will help with the legitimacy when the population understand what are the roles and functions of the police, even with our use of force policy, and what is required for police officers dealing with situations and violent situations. That is the reason why the question came up. What I had second on my list was the body cams, the body cameras. I will introduce it here now. And that can help a lot with police legitimacy. And we have our departmental order that guides the officers in the use of it, and where it can be an offense if they don't, in fact, use it. But what happened in the past, I didn't with what is real. What happened in the past, there was some indication that we had a large number of body cams. We did not. In fact, we only had 160 body cams, and there were specialized units. They even one specialized unit had 50% of those body cams. And think about it, and then the other 80 will be divided among the 9 police divisions. It's just recently we acquired the 1,120 body cams. And we are now encouraging the officers to use it. I mentioned that we had some challenges in rolling it out as fast as we wanted, because some person asked the question, if you all got this body cams in April, how we in June? That is when the question came up, and we have not yet distributed all. And I mentioned that, number one, we have to train the officers. The training must be commensurate with the IT people installing at various points. Because how it works, when the body cams, the officers go to the body cams and it upload information. When they return, they must have a docking system. We had a docking system to place it, but the docking system now is linked to the internet line. It must be at a particular location in the station. And then automatically the feed from the body cams can now go into our server. So the information is now stored there. It's not like the persons now where the body can have to go to some place 10 miles away or 5 miles away. We want to get everything done electronically. Yeah. So the delay was really and truly ensuring that we get the right locations in the stations to put it, the IT people to run the necessary line, so everything can work, in a synergized way. So already we have covered around 558 officers have been trained. Just recently, I went to Tobago and carried the first 20, and they will be getting 80. In fact, training will be done next week in Tobago to ensure that the officers and them are trained and using the body cams.
Now, these are the body cams that the officers must put on themselves.
Yes, they must put it, yes.
Right.
No,
okay.
what is happening? The body cams now is different from the one I think Alexander was showing one at a point in time, which was it was something large. And he says some of the officers, he mentioned that some of the officers, find that, it's kind of cumbersome. Rather, that was the old ones. The ones that we purchase now is very, very small. And this near to the color of the uniform. It is very difficult sometimes to notice it, when it is pinned on there. So that is the reason why I mentioned, like, I have to put something white or red on it so that persons will see that they are wearing the body cams. But what persons have noticed, though, with our new patrol initiatives, where we have the highway patrol and the motorcyclists, and we did the special training and have them operate as interceptors and the highway at different points and things like that, they recognize that they have been wearing it, because when we trained them in survival training recently, one of the parts of the training was with the body cams and with the battles, things like that, and they know where it's. So persons mention that they are but some of the task force persons are not in fact wearing it. Some of them have not been trained yet. So we want to ensure that all our frontline officers, now 1,100 will not be sufficient, so we need to purchase more. But I don't want to forget the point. We are dealing with that aspect of police legitimacy and public trust and confidence. And when things happen, it can record. But we went further than that, right? Under the last commissioner, we had around 85 vehicles with dash cams, where we have the CCTV footage capturing on it and feeding straight in our operational centers. Now we may have around 45 vehicles because vehicles got in accidents and things like that, but it's something that we are looking at to get more vehicles with the dash cams, because a lot of the incidents that we had and we were monitoring where we don't have the CCTV grid existing, it is from our vehicle cameras we were able to feed the footage within our operational centers, and we could have managed things from there by placing the vehicles at particular locations. So there is another method that we are using in order to capture footage to assist us with investigations.
Commissioner, there'll never be enough time to speak about the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service. You know that. You could always sit here for the entire day and take questions and speak about the police service. The mere fact is that you all started the journey here with your new comms team, Inspector Lewis. So the public will expect to hear from Inspector Michelle Lewis, and the department supervised by Ms Joanne Archie, who's been returned on contract to take care of the communications unit. Yes. So we wish Mr. Hill all the best in his retirement as he proceeds on pre-retirement leave. Commissioner, once again, we'd like to thank you. I can imagine your phone right now. You have 1 minute to say thanks to the public. Ms. Archie, Ms. Lewis, thank you very much for spending the morning with us again. Yes. And we really appreciate it. We wish you all the best, because we know it's not an easy road ahead for you and your unit. Because we even wanted to talk about our officers and PTSD. Some people take that for granted, but our officers, most of them can, especially frontline officers who face, Short, if you could put up that image quick for us, that image C, where police held 4 people with this device. Now, this is what police officers out there coming up against. And these are high-powered rifles. And when officers have to face that on a daily basis, face blood and gore and all these type of things, they are storing this information. And a lot of our officers are not making excuses for them or condoning what they're doing. But I think there's another discussion, Ms. Archie, that we could have in the future on PTSD. Let the public know really what goes on. You were frontline officer at one time. You all were frontline officers. You know what you face out there. But when officers are not debriefed, and these images are, take note of their heads, and they continue to work, these things are stored. And some of these reactions we've seen from police officers could be as a result of PTSD. Folks, you agree with me on that?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Ms. Archie?
totally agree. And this is as a result of that. We have embedded in the use of force policy there is a section where officers must be subjected to counseling. And this is where we have the employee assistance program with our social workers, and they are it is accessible to officers who are involved in these type
But
of.
can it be mandatory though? Can you make it mandatory, or that is something you have to work on doing?
It is mandatory under the use of force policy, but
Okay.
to access the EAP and the social work department, it is not mandatory,
Right.
but it is there for officers who believe that they may need this type of counseling.
But we, you know, if you tell some men, you know, we feel we could handle things, Ms. Archie, you know that, you know, we feel we could see, you know, get in these kind of confrontations and see things and feel we could wipe that out of our memory bank. It don't happen like that.
Not
So-
like that at all.
So I think you'll need to work on making it mandatory. Don't tell me, look, mom, I good, you know, no worry, I good. No, you're not good. Go. Take a week, go and get that memory wiped out and go back to work.
Yes.
Natasha?
Again, thank you so much for accommodating us, accommodating members of the public. And I know some people may have been disappointed that the questions weren't answered, but again, Inspector Lewis and the rest of the team is going to go through the comments that were made on Facebook and YouTube and respond to them if they can on Facebook and YouTube. So don't
interesting
worry.
comments.
I think we covered a lot. We managed to
Yes.
cover a lot. And again, we invite the commissioner to sit on our independency anytime you choose. Our
This is your
microphones are
program. We
open to
we-
have this because we want to keep this dialogue going. It's really
It's
important
important.
for you to know what the public is thinking and feeling, and for us to be assured that the police service is protecting and serving us all.
Closing remarks, sir?
Yeah, again, thank you very much for being here, allowing us to be here this morning. Again, time run fast, very swift. And what is happening is what we are hoping for our whole aspect in the criminal justice system, for swift justice to take place, you know. The time went fast, and what I want to assure you all that we'll organize for the head of our social work and victim support department to come here with you all, probably
Yes.
together with Ms. Archie, to talk about what we are really doing, because yes, we have to see about our officers' health and wellness. And in fact, that is our fifth pillar in our strategic plan, and there's a lot of work being done, and it is necessary. I take your point, God.
Yes.
You know, and some aspects of the whole aspect of the use of drugs. There are some other discussions again we can have with the relation to the use of firearms, and here we talk about the psychology of firearms, you know, and what is really happening embedded in that with the use of drugs. So again, thank you all very, very much, and we are looking forward again to be given this opportunity to address you all and the general public.
Anytime.
Thank you.
Thank you very much,
Commissioner,
sir. Up
Inspector
up
Lewis
next, major
and
news at
Sachi.
12 with
Thank you, sir.
God bless.
Kyle Saunders.
Yes,
Thank
thank
you
you,
very
Kyle,
much.
very
Good
much
afternoon.
for giving us this opportunity. Yeah.
Thank you very much,
Thank you
sir.
very much, Kyle. I'll explain to Mr. Enoch tomorrow. And I'll be guesting with him tomorrow morning. So yes, you're so generous and gracious of you. All right, folks, have a good week. Be careful out there. Stay safe. God bless. Bye-bye.
Yeah.